Hey guys, it's the Tinman. I'm back. So this is the next day. Same camera. I haven't uploaded the other video, so I'm just doing a backup reference from walking right beside. Look at the destruction going on there. If you're at all a rock wall builder, stick with me and you're gonna see major issues. This wall was built very skillfully. You can see it's starting to wave now. It was just built with just monstrous rocks. All this little stuff you see going on, where you see a bunch of it right here, and you don't see a bunch of it right here, and you don't see a bunch right here, but then again you see a bunch right there. All those little rocks are the rocks that are being broken off then stuffed in another spot. And a huge bearingness to this wall that helps support that is this part right in here. Because I'm telling you right now, I'm zoom back, this huge of a wall, and they're going to be putting this little shit in right here. I drove by and that's why I decided, oh, I'm coming in here for sure. So maybe, well, no. I mean, some of those rocks, I don't know how, like what I think they do even is they'll pull out a rock. Let's go see if we can see if any of these rocks have been removed and put back in. Like these big ones. Because this goes back a ways that I can see. Look at that. They're sitting there. And the other one that I wanted to look at this one. Now this is just a plug. This one's just a plug, guys. Like this is a plug, like this is a plug, like this is a big rock put in. This is a plug, so in other words, there's a chance that this rock was actually that large, filling in that spot. See the dark coloration right here? Looks similar in here. No, that's too clean of a break there to have been those two to have been one rock, because that's what will end up happening, is they'll come in here and they'll actually break the rock. So you want to see how many pieces are just sitting here floating around. Look at them all. They're all just floating around. Look at even that big one in there. Look at the pieces falling and stuff. It's just all false. Should have worn my belt. Like, just look at that. I don't know which company built this wall, if it is that one that I mentioned, Tigan Excavating. That used to be a name he used anyways, whether he still has that name or not. But he builds master walls, or his company does. And I wouldn't doubt it if they actually built this wall. And as you can see, we're walking, and this wall is big. Kind of funny, see, from their old hoarding, they probably had a bit of a wood fence here. They had a couple of nails drilled and poked in there. They didn't even pull them out from the construction days. So let's just do this wiggle, guys. Wiggle, wiggle. You see that wiggling, right? See, some of them will be jammed. Some of them will be actually wedged, where a rock is lifted and set down on them and stuff. Look at this great big chunk out of here, maybe. No, well, there's a piece missing there, no doubt. Let's go around this way better. It's becoming all shit around here. Now I'm on this very close, but I'm at the angle. You guys are getting the idea, and look at all these rocks being set up here. They're getting real messy. They don't give much of a rat's ass anymore. As much. And that goes to show that they change in personality. So, you know, what's that? A bit more comfortable, more sure of themselves, you know, what would it be? Gorilla Island down this way. My numbers are starting to grow, guys, and it's because the awareness I talk about is different than these other guys who are showing you a lot of beings out there, and some people are. There's no doubt. But I'm a guy who has understanding behind what's going on. And I find we can work with them in many ways. So, you know, when the real opening needs to be opened up, and we need those real answers, I'm willing to talk to big people with big names and big movement ability, so we can get the ball rolling. Because that's all that has to happen right now, is the ball just has to get rolling. It's too bad I didn't come up here before and check this out, like this way, to see how it looks pretty nice there. I'm liking that. Okay, so they haven't done too much on a big swale, let's say. So we got that in our memories now. Walk me out. But if I step over and I get us a better view. I'll show you some breakage right up close here. So you see all the fill-ins and stuff, like this is just ridiculous. Like, remember what I talked about, the overhead ledge. So in other words, if the rock above is hanging out more, it's not making sense, because we don't build walls with overhead hangers like that. I mean, little things like this, I guess it's not a big deal, but as the time's going on, you're seeing this one breaking away more, and this will become bigger, and we just don't put those tripping points out. We don't put those things that can break off and fall on somebody's head out. So right along here you get to see this one has major chippage on it. You see that? Different rocks act different ways. So you see that kind of design of probably what's going on here, because you do get to see some cracks. You get to see some maybe scratch marks right here and stuff. You know, all that, and just chipping chunks off, chipping pieces out. Big chunk here coming off. You know, you see the difference in colorations and stuff, and you try to figure out whatever you're figuring out. Spreading moss. This is a new establishment, so to have that compilation of moss in the sun, because the sun's going right here. We're right there now for the sun, and we're, well, it's probably this way a little bit, but we're not at noon yet. We're only about 11 a.m. or something. So who knows even if they left that exposed like that, right? They probably knocked a bunch of stuff off of there just to get rid of that exposure. And then I was walking up around in here, and this is all probably hospital land that's going to be developed and stuff, and you can see that they don't have a problem hanging out in there in the evenings, whenever. They might be in there right now. A few homeless people, I think, live in there too and stuff. So yeah, peace out. See all that chunking coming off like that? More pieces that are just ready to fall off. Or look at that though, eh? That's kind of interesting how that one is. Okay, it's enough info for you. You know what's going on.